Hey, welcome back. There's a certain type of man a woman never forgets. Not because he was the richest in the room, not because he flooded her DMS with attention, and not because he looked like a Greek god sculpted by Michelangelo, but because when he spoke, he made her feel something. She couldn't explain, something she couldn't put into words, something she didn't even realize she was missing until he showed up. It wasn't the things he did that haunted her later. It was the words he used specifically, 2 words delivered at the perfect time, in the perfect tone that bypassed her surface-level attraction and spoke to something deeper, to the emotional core of her feminine psychology, to that ancient instinctive part of her that wants to feel seen, desired, protected, but most of all, understood. Here's the brutal truth most men never figure out. It's not the flashy pickup lines, the witty banter, or the carefully rehearsed compliments that make a woman lie awake at night thinking about you. Why words shape desire. It's the words that accidentally hit her soul. The ones that seem off the cuff, but land like poetry. The ones that feel like you reached into her internal world and whispered, "I see the real you and I'm not afraid of it." Now ask yourself, when was the last time you said something that stayed with her hours, or even days after you left? When was the last time you entered her mind in silence, not because you chased her, but because she couldn't stop replaying your words? That's the power I'm talking about in this video, because there are only a few moments in a woman's life that create permanent imprints. And most of them start with a phrase so short, so effortlessly powerful that it doesn't even sound like gain. It sounds like truth, like intimacy, like something sacred. And this is where psychological attraction separates the men who get ghosted from the men who become obsessions. Let me be clear, this isn't about manipulation. This isn't about deceiving a woman, especially one who may already be in a relationship. This is about understanding female psychology at its core, and how a woman's attraction isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional, it's language-based, it's triggered by the subtle tension between words and presence, by the contrast between what you say and what she feels behind it. And when you use these 2 words the right way, you create a mystery in her mind. You create space for her to wonder, imagine desire, until eventually that curiosity becomes obsession. She'll try to brush it off. She'll tell herself it was just a passing moment. But hours later, she'll catch herself thinking about you. She'll scroll through her phone, wondering if she should text you. She'll stare into space, trying to figure out why she feels so drawn to you, even if she knows she shouldn't. Because those 2 words, they weren't just spoken, they were felt. And once you learn how to use them, you become unforgettable. In this video, I'll walk you through what those 2 words are, why they work on a biological and emotional level, how to deliver them with confidence, and the first magnetic word, subtlety, and how to use them in a way that's respectful, authentic, and absolutely magnetic. This is not about being louder. It's about being precise, about speaking to the hidden emotional needs she rarely admits even to herself. So if you're tired of surface-level attraction, if you're done chasing and want to be chased, if you want to say something once and make her feel it over and over again, then stay with me. Because once you understand the psychology behind these 2 words, you won't need to compete for her attention. She'll give it to you willingly, even if she's already taken. Even if she tries to fight it. Even if it scares her, because attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's whispered in 2 words that change everything. Now, before I tell you the 2 words, you need to fully grasp the weight these words carry, not just linguistically, but psychologically, emotionally, and even biologically. Attraction isn't a surface-level game of who looks better or who talks louder. Real attraction, deep, lasting, unforgettable attraction, comes from speaking to the emotional core of a woman's being. It's about making her feel seen, understood, and special in a way no one else has ever done before. Because the second, surprising trigger word Make no mistake. Every woman, no matter how confident or guarded, longs for that sensation, to be recognized beyond appearances, beyond casual chit-chat, beyond the typical compliments she hears every day. This is where the phrase, "you're different," comes into play. It's deceptively simple, but it taps into primal female psychology like nothing else. 1. The emotional magnetism of mystery. When you say you're different, you don't give her all the answers. Instead, you open a door she didn't expect. You invite her into a mystery that only she can explore. She immediately asks herself, different? How different from who? What exactly does he see that others don't? This question becomes an emotional puzzle in her mind. Women crave emotional complexity. Unlike men, who often seek straightforwardness, women are naturally wired to enjoy subtlety and nuance in attraction. They want to feel intrigued, to be mentally and emotionally engaged. When you call her different, you spark that intrigue. 2. The power of being truly seen. Look around. How many times do women get reduced to cliches? The hot girl, the fun girl, the smart girl, as if those labels could capture the whole of who she is. Your different communicates something far deeper. It says, you see her authentic self. You see the layers beneath her exterior, her struggles, her uniqueness, her fears and strengths. You appreciate something that she has worked hard to hide or protect. This is not just a compliment. It's an acknowledgement of her true value. When a man sees a woman like this and shows it in his words, he immediately creates emotional safety. And emotional safety is the foundation of all deep attraction. 3. Reclaiming your power with subtle confidence. Most men try too hard. They throw compliments like confetti, desperate for approval, but desperation kills attraction. By saying you're different, you claim your role as the observer, the one with calm control and quiet power. You don't beg for her attention. You offer your unique perspective, confident, how to say them naturally and unshaken. This subtle shift is profound. It creates a dynamic where she wants your approval, not just your attention, the art of delivery more than just words. Here's the secret no one talks about. The magic isn't just in what you say, but how you say it. Don't rush the words, let your tone carry weight, calm, measured, almost like a secret, shared only between the two of you. Use your eyes. Hold her gaze softly but firmly. Let a small pause linger after you say it, giving her space to absorb. When you combine these elements, your different becomes an emotional signature, something she'll replay in her mind. Not because she's analysing it intellectually, but because it felt real powerful and true. 5. Planting the seed of obsession. After you deliver these two words with presence, something subtle but undeniable happens. Hours later, when she's alone, no distractions, just silence. Her mind drifts back to you, to that moment, to those words. And she starts to wonder, what did he really mean? Why did it feel so authentic? Why can't I stop thinking about him? This is the seed of emotional obsession. Not because you chased her, not because you begged for attention, but because you gave her something rare. A feeling of being truly understood and valued for who she is beneath the surface. 6. Why these words work. Even if she's taken one of the biggest misconceptions about attraction, is that it can't happen if a woman is already in a relationship. But the truth is, stoic mindset plus emotional impact. Emotional attraction isn't about availability, it's about connection. Your different can break through even the toughest emotional walls because it bypasses the usual filters. It doesn't compete with other men's superficial attention. It speaks directly to her hidden desires. Of course, this requires integrity. If a woman is taken, you never push beyond respect. But saying this phrase sincerely, calmly, authentically, can awaken feelings she might have buried or forgotten. It's important to understand this isn't a trick or a manipulative tactic. It's a way to express something real. Before you say it, you must genuinely mean it. You must have observed something unique about her that you truly recognize. This is the hallmark of a man who is emotionally mature and grounded. Use it sparingly. Use it only when it's earned. And when you do, watch how it shifts the energy in the room. So the next time you're with a woman, look beyond the surface. Find the quiet moment when you truly see something about her that others miss. Lean in just a little and say, "You're different." Because in those two words, you're not just speaking to her, you're speaking to her soul. You're planting a thought, a feeling, an obsession. And that's how a woman ends up thinking about you long after you've left. Now that you truly understand the immense power behind these two simple words, "You're different," and why they resonate so deeply with a woman's heart and mind, it's time to bring this knowledge into your life. Remember, attraction is not a game of gimmicks or cheap tricks. It's a demonstration of your presence, your emotional clarity, and, final takeaway, your ability to see beyond the surface. When you master this, you no longer chase. You attract effortlessly. You no longer compete. You stand apart. But here's the truth most men never face. The moment you start to genuinely see women not just as objects of desire, but as complex, unique individuals, is the moment you transform your entire dating life. Because women instinctively recognize that kind of awareness and respond to it with genuine fascination and longing. So I challenge you today, start practicing this. Be the man who says something different. Literally and figuratively, observe her. Find what makes her unique. And when the moment feels right, speak these words with confidence and authenticity. Watch how the energy shifts. Watch how she looks at you. Not just with curiosity, but with admiration, intrigue, and a desire to know more. If you want to go even deeper, to truly embody this kind of magnetic presence and master the art of attraction on a whole new level, then make sure you stay connected with this channel. Because here we don't just teach you what to say, we teach you how to become a man who naturally commands respect, desire, and emotional connection. If you found value in this video, hit that like button. Not just for the algorithm, but as a commitment to yourself to keep growing and mastering your craft. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next lesson that could change your life. Finally, I want to hear from you. What moments made you realize you were truly seen by someone? Drop your story in the comments below. Let's build a community of men who understand that attraction is about depth, respect, and emotional power. Remember this: words have power, but your presence gives them meaning. Speak with intention, live with purpose, and watch how the right woman thinks about you all night.